Welcome.
So, how do you create a positive and safe gaming environment for your child? Okay, yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. I always love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. In fact, I don't know what to say. It's your support is so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. So this afternoon, I'm diving into how to create a positive, safe gaming environment for children. Okay, you know that children like games, right? They do, of course. The gaming is especially the boys, and they just want to be on video games every time like that. Okay, this afternoon we want to learn about the creativity and the connection video games offer. It's amazing. So I wouldn't want us to kill the interest of the kids. Okay, I understand that most of the parents are against this. They don't want their children to maybe to play it. Some even, of course, there are some children that they are kind of addicted to this gaming. So, but how can you parent be involved and then help the kids to, to channel that game to something positive that they can actually learn from, and then to help them manage their time. Okay, and then parents. Okay, let's say video games offer some amazing opportunity for children of all ages and even grow up. Yeah, there are some adults, mostly men, I think, that can sit down with the game and just play like that. So, but parents can find it tricky to navigate the topic of video game with their children. What's games? How much screen time? What are the risks? What's the best for your family? How can parents best engage with their children and video games? Okay, let's go. One of the things we really encourage parents to do is to play video games with their children. I like this. I like this so much. Okay. The best way to be involved in your children's life is to learn to do what they do. Yeah, that is just the best way. It's either you are correcting their action, it's either you're trying to fix a problem or solve a problem, it's either you are trying to educate them or do anything for them. The best method is just to get involved in what they are doing. Maybe, for example, they like to watch a movie. Of course, that's particular. You just notice that their child is, watching that particular channel. Okay, there's nothing wrong with just, joining in and just intentionally, just have a movie night with that child and putting that same channel. Like, wow, daddy, mommy, they are doing this with us today. Really? Like that. And trust me, it's going to be amazing. From that, then there can be kind of communication, kind of questioning. Those kids, they like to ask questions. Kind of questioning, kind of correcting, kind of communicating. Oh, yeah. So the same thing is applicable to this issue of video game. Instead of us just shouting out and just taking the this and that, collect this remote, that you are this, you are that. I think it's better to get involved in what they do. So engaging with children to play game, it helps establish that this is a hobby of theirs and you are interested in learning more about it. You're kind of, oh, mom, dad, they're trying to, it's a kind of affection, it's a kind of love. And then that you are interested in learning about it. And hopefully, let me see the value of what they are doing. This topic may look somehow, but trust me, it's really worth it. That way, when you're having a conversation with them about video games, they are not just thinking, well, you just don't get it. Do you get what we're trying to say from there? Okay, when you make them teach you and you do it with them, so another time, you now bring up a conversation regarding the game or kind of correcting something. They know that you already know what they are doing. It's not like maybe they are having this kind of, children have this kind of mentality that the mom does not know what is going on. Dad does not know, something like that. That's the generation we are. But when you learn the stuff with them and you play it with them like that, they already know that you are involved and you know what that is. Okay, well, once your child understands that you do get it, then what you say, look, you've had a couple of hours together, that's probably enough. You're coming from a much stronger position than just coming in and saying something that might sound like, why are you doing that stupid thing? That's a waste of time. Do you get what we're trying to say here? Okay, when when you are involved in the game with them, it is good. So after that time, you cannot come back and then talk about it, like discuss about it. That way they know that, oh yeah, you know what it is, and they are understanding your own point of view, and it's better that way rather than to just come in. You're not playing the game with them. You don't even know, like, okay, maybe you know what it is, okay, but the children, they think that you don't even know what it is. So, and that is in their mind, and you just come like that. It's like, stop doing that stupid thing. Will you just get inside and then stop wasting so much time like that? It's time like that. So children intuitively understand that that's not true. They can tell it's not a waste of their time, and it can be alienating to be told that the thing you love is a waste of time. Are you getting it? This child loves to play this game, and now you are telling the child that what you love is a waste of time. How does it sound? Okay, it doesn't sound right. Just come in like that and just throw the bomb and just tell them what you're doing is rubbish. It's just a waste of time. So building that common ground allow you to have a far more open dialogue about what is appropriate to play, when it is appropriate to play, and who it is appropriate to play with. So joining in that game, it will make you to communicate better, communicate clearer, who to play with, what to play, and when to play. Okay, sit down and let them teach you how to play. If you don't know how to play it, let them take the lead. Let them be the experts. Let them have the joy of showing you their world. Trust me, it works like a magic. Even in the process, there can be some hidden conversation. I mean, some especially for the children that don't like to talk, that's so into themselves. It can be a way to to bring for them to just openly communicate with you, because they are kind of cheerful, they're kind of joyful. Okay, what benefit can video games offer children and adolescents? The parent can be like, what? Do you think they can be? Rather than just wasting their time, like, oh no, let's calm down. Okay, we are down to activities that sanctify our need for competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Any video games, when designed well, are incredibly good at satisfying those needs. There are a huge range of benefits that result from video games play, including positive emotions, the engagement associated with happiness, making connections, making learning, and creativities. Yeah, they say, whatever have a good side, have a bad side. You know why you should get involved with this? It's that the devil has designed the world in a way that the good side is just like 5%, unfortunately, and the other side, the negative side, is like 95%. So it is good for you to get involved in whatever, be it video game or anything the child is doing, so that you can know how to manage the problem, how to solve the problem, and answer the questions and lead the kid in the right way. Okay, let's talk about learning and creativities. There are clear learning benefits, both the incidental and directed learning that occur in video games. And obviously, there's a great deal of opportunity for creativity in various types of games. From those where you build a house that you design yourself, through to the creativity it takes to solve a difficult puzzle. So it's just a video game. It's kind of, creativity, solving problems. Okay, what about overcoming challenges? In general, when growing up and throughout life, it's really beneficial to expose yourself to challenges, to do difficult things, to tackle something you don't think you can do. Video games are excellent at providing these challenges. So don't think as if maybe a video game is just a time waster. So these are part of the benefits. Okay, you learn to try, to fail, and to try again. That's it. So what about making connections? Games they are great at building connections. So great at building connections, with building connections with other people. There are real social connections being made by people playing with others, even when it's purely online and not necessarily, translating into office setting. The insulting intimacy and the social capital are very real and very valuable. Okay, it's no different to the friendship you make playing netball, doing dance class, or even acting drama. It's a kind of connection, and playing with others both allow us to connect with a large diversity of other people, bordering our network, as well as showing us to deepen and strengthen bond with those close to us. So those are the positive parts of it. So don't think as if maybe it doesn't have anything at all to offer, because all what we know is the risk that it does it, just the risk. So okay, to talk about the risk, around video games that parents should know. Know who your child plays with. Okay, when you play the video games with them, these are the things that you should look out for. Know who they play with. I think we need to be thinking about who our children are playing with, who are they meeting online, what level of awareness does a child have about what information to provide or not provide to a stranger online, or even to someone they think they know online. So those are the things that we as a parent should look out for. There are some very bad actors out there, but there are a lot of ways that we can combat that. For example, as a parent, you can use in-game control to switch off the ability to connect with stranger. Okay, as a parent, even your children are playing video games, you don't even know what it is. You don't even know how to play it. All what you're thinking about is, I don't know, they're just doing their thing, okay? This is not just their thing. This video is to tell us that we need to be involved in that their thing, in what we call their thing, okay? So, and these are the risk. You know, there are a lot of benefits. I've talked about them, and these are actually the risk, and we should deal with them. So, know who they are playing with. As we said, there are a lot of bad actors, okay, outside there, in the outside world, online. So, parents, we can use, as I've said earlier, you can use in a game control. You can just switch it off to connect with strangers. And again, it is much easier if your child feels like you understand their passion for video game. It's safer that way. They shouldn't feel as if you hate it and does it. Okay, so try to come down to their level, understand them, play with them, talk with them out to us about the dangers and about the safety part of it and the step you're gonna take. Okay, I think if they do, then you can say something like, I get it, I know you want to play, that makes sense to me, but let's make sure that the platform you are on is with other kids from your school. Does that make sense? Okay, not one that has people we don't know, or one that might have people of a very different age to you. Does that make sense? Okay, yeah. Underscoring the importance of building trust around video games. It's extremely important that your child feels like they can come to you if something concerning or uncomfortable happens. We want to avoid a situation where they are worried that they will be in trouble or likely to be banned from playing if they bring a concern to you. I don't think if you, I don't know if you get that. Okay, we want to create this kind of environment where your child will feel safe to come to you and talk about the concern regarding the video game, and then maybe the boy or the girl is looking for a solution from you, not thinking that, oh, if I come and ask mom or ask dad about this question concerning this game, they're going to ban me from it, I'm not going to play it again forever. That's the end of it, okay? We should not make them feel that way. Another one is on healthy engagements. You know, I prefer to avoid terms, like addiction, as I don't think they are necessarily appropriate in the setting, and I also think the term often causes undue concern. However, there's no doubt that it is possible to develop an unhealthy engagement with video game. That's an addiction, right? Okay, that's it. Our children can actually be addicted to it, so that is why we must get involved in it, and we must make the child understand why they should limit what they do in playing the games, and whatever playing that they do, whatever, they should limit. They should not do it too much. Okay, if a child is feeling a lack of competence or autonomy, or not feeling connected to others at school or in some other area of life, the result can be an unhealthy engagement with video games. Yes, there are some children like that they just use the video game to safeguard their mental health. They use it to kind of push some things away, push friendship away, push relationship away, or maybe just to kind of cover up something. Okay, instead of attending to some issue or thinking about some issue, they're just on the game. They just straight to it. Okay, and some children that experience bullying, actually, they kind of just having something to do. Okay, psychologically they are not really okay. Okay, they are not really okay, and maybe they are not a talking type, so they just want to play the game and just forget about everything that is going on around them. So unfortunately, that also gives us a clue as to the solution when we are worried a child is engaging with video games in a way that might be unhealthy. Okay, so the situation is not to remove the video game from the child's life. In fact, if video games are the one place that a child is having their needs met, then the worst thing you could do is to cut that off. Such children don't just take away what they think it's fixing their present problem situation. So, but we need to begin to feed their needs from other areas of their life. Maybe we think the child thought that there's no connection, there's no communication enough, there's no there's no family bond, there's a distance between the parent and the child, or between the siblings and siblings. The solution is not just to take the video game. Okay, we are talking about video game. The solution is to find a way to fill in the gap. Yes, to solve that problem before we now talk about it on how to cut down the time for the video game. We should encourage them to try some outdoor activities as well, or to spend more time with other friends with different hobbies. Okay, such children can just kind of encourage them. I said before that you must be involved in that game. It will build connection, so that all other encouragements, all other things or advices that we may give can easily penetrate into the child. So we can encourage the child to play with other friends around. It's not bad. Even such children can even go for sleepover in a friend's house, and then trusted friends with trusted parents, and then have friends around them, then get involved with other hobbies of other friends, so that they can remove the connection, the addiction to that video game. So what's important is to try and build up the other areas of life to run along video game, not just every time video game. Naturally, the child will cut it down when there are other things that is filling it up. It will come naturally. Okay, so and then there are some design that are not healthy for our children, right? There are deceptive design that encourages the user to do something otherwise, or should do something, such as to spend more money. Such design can be problematic. That's on video game, actually. So such design can be problematic. So parents should try to open their children's eyes to such manipulation. That is why we keep saying, get involved in this. When your children are playing video game right in their room, learn how to play it and educate them. Don't just leave them alone. Just leave them alone, let them do whatever they want. No. So we can talk to them about this problematic design. So we should open their eyes to such manipulation. For example, the use of forced sales that create time pressure to buy, or the use of discount schemes that encourages you to buy more. Those are dark stuffs. So we should try to engage with our children around what they are playing. If it's a game that contains elements of this kind of design, then try to steer them towards other games, or have an open conversation about what you see. Don't hide anything from them. Just be open. Conversation, heart to heart conversation, not shouting, not even using a commanding tone. No, just teach them about these techniques so they can be better armed to detect them and resist them. Let them take the lead. Then find out about it, browse about it, know what you want to say. Then open the conversation in a very calm and loving way. So, moreover, recognition of such techniques are skills that will also help them in the area of their life. It's skills, but we can actually do away from them. Okay, so it's better to do away with such toxic community. So the community that surrounds some games can be problematic, as I've said, and that is toxicity. Yeah, and can involve things like cyberbullying, racism, homophobia, and misogyny. There's a great work going on to try and combat these things, but at the moment, there are certain games that are known for having such community. There are games that are having such community. So important for parents to be aware of the community that their child is playing in, and to consider if it's one you want them to be exposed to regularly. So this topic is a very important topic. So you yourself, you must get involved and know the community that your child involved in, that where your child do play the game. Talk to your child about what sort of things are okay and not okay. When you should speak up on someone else's behalf or choose to exit a conversation. And video game and violence too is there. When it comes to violence and aggression in games, it's important to consider the themes in a game and whether or not such themes are appropriate for your child at that point in their development. So their age rating and online review by other parents can be invulnerable to informed decisions on what game is appropriate or not. So playing with their children can help you to get a better sense of what a new game's involved. So play game with them. You will know how to encourage them and advise them on the community they should belong. It's also important to note that the current scientific consensus is that video games do not lead to aggression or violence in person. While video games have received a lot of negative attention over the year, we can see a landmark report in 2020 brought together 28 studies on the topic and found that long-term effect of violence in games on our youth aggression is next to zero. It's well. So what about many parents that got worried about how much time their children are playing game. What's the advice? Okay. What is an appropriate amount of video games play time varies. If it's the middle of school time and a child has a bunch of homework due to next day, then the right amount of play might be 0 minutes. It might be 0 minutes. If it's a school holiday and they spent yesterday at the beach and they are spending tomorrow at a museum, then maybe a lot of play is fine today. It also depends on the child. Actually, it depends on what they are playing. It depends on who they are playing with. I think the difference between healthy adult player and a child player is a child hasn't necessarily developed the emotion regulation skills to realize, oh, this has to stop being fun. I'm experiencing more frustration than joy at this stage. Okay, when a child cannot realize when to cut the the line, when to stop, cannot design when to look if is deriving joy or being frustrated or aggressive in playing. Okay, that's bad. Now won't be a good time to take a break. And certainly, adult gamers don't get this right all this time either. Even the adult players, they don't really get it. They just want to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing until they get involved and doing wrong things in the process of playing the game. So all what we need to do is just to keep an eye on our own children, try to help them to learn the signs for when they've had enough of the game. When would it be better to take a walk for an hour or have an hour or whatever to distract them and reset? Okay. Do you have any tips for parents of younger children on how to start out with games? Okay, let's say, the rating system can be really helpful, but the problem is that a lot of content on mobile stores doesn't have a rating. Okay, I'm just looking at these doctors. Other parents have been done this part before though, but there are some great community and forum where people highlight the strengths and weaknesses of different games along the line of the game is pretty good for playing with other people, but it's got a bunch of monetization stuff in it that you want to keep an eye on. So let's just round it up by saying, let's kind of encouraging parents to engage with their kids. Don't just leave them alone for hours playing this game, playing. You don't know what it is about. You don't know what your children have got themselves involved in. You don't know anything. They're just playing. What are you doing? A video game. Okay, every day like that. Even when you think that they're not spending too much time on the game. Okay, maybe they are spending limited time like that, but it is still important for you to learn it. It is still important for you to guide them on who to play with, when to play, kind of community they must involve themselves with. Okay, the children, the parents should be there for every minute the child play. But if you play the first hour with your child, you know what's in that game. You can see how they react to it and can decide on the best approach you are going to use. Thank you very much. I think that will be all for today. Thank you. Thanks to Professor Daniel Johnson for bringing this to us, and then thanks to me for bringing it to your table as well. So parents, please, let's wake up and then look at all these methods in which the devil is kind of throwing bombs to the life of our children. So we must wake up, start to do what they do, learn what they do, so that we can guide them on how to do it. We can research on what they do. Do what they do with them. Let them take the lead, teach you, and teach yourself. And everything is online. Just Google online, use your AI, learn more about the danger, learn more about the effects, learn more about the advantages. So that we can guide our children appropriately. Thank you so much for tuning in today. See you in my next video. I love you all. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, like the video, share the video. Thanks so much. And if you are yet to press the notification button, please switch it on. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.